So we're back in the trusty new 1486 with the soil finisher, and we are going to get this ready to plant. Bury these weeds a little bit, break up the crust, leave it nice and smooth. Give me that door. See how much we can get done before it rains tomorrow. Well, we're pulling in the next field. Unfortunately, I didn't get too much action really at all in the last field. That was kind of out front of the home place. And didn't get much footage because Dad was waiting on me a little bit. So we had to focus on driving, getting work done, rather than getting video of all the tillage. So Dad knifed down hydrous here yesterday. And we just gotta level it out for planting. And we're gonna hit it at, say, a 45 or so. This is my godfather's field. I think we saw some bean harvest here last fall, but the sun is really bright coming at us. It's not early in the day. And well, he chisel plowed and dissed this a couple times, and we're probably gonna burn the midnight oil. The TW Planetary Hub really killed my Sunday. It's Tuesday now, and I could really have gone without that. I mean, just the timing was worse than anything else, we'll say. To collect the tractor, bring it home. That shot half the day Monday, where if it didn't break, I could have had that good chisel plowed Sunday and spent more time Monday. So, good thing we got all those lights on the 6610 to plant. I don't know if we can see it way over yonder, but the flatbed is over there waiting with fertilizer and a little bit of seed. Now to plant corn here. So maybe now I'll get the action shots. I'm far enough ahead of Dad, I can stop and dawdle and fiddle with the camera. Gotta kind of lift up through this waterway here, try to leave the grass grow somewhat. The soil finisher goes down really slow. It lifts fine, and I just put it in float, and I figured there would be enough weight that it would go down quick, but not necessarily. Yeah, the real joy is of hitting fields at 45s or whatever angle. There's usually, everything becomes a headland you gotta clean up at the end. I know this field has probably been chiseled and disked in the longest rows possible. And amazingly enough, it is rectangular. One of the few fields that are rectangular, or at least have a straight side that we farm, or more than two straight sides. It's almost a miracle. Back into the sun, I can't see anything. Back there. Okay, well, we'll get off my head and we'll watch the machine do some stuff. Well, here we go. Underneath the soil finisher. All 14 feet wide. Might be close to 15. It's a real monster to get down the road with no wings. But it would be impossible to make it any narrower and, have a wing of a foot or two on each side. I happened upon this a couple years ago at a consignment sale. All new blades and very recent shovels. I was really looking for a Forest City do-all, because that's got some other features more than just the blades and the cultivators. It's got a spinny, choppy, rolling basket type thing in it also, in addition to kind of a harrow on the back. But I do like this one because of the chain style harrow. It rides light on the soil to level it out. Now, the field we're in would have been great to run a harrogator across. There's hardly any organic matter left on top. It's all been tilled into the soil, so we're not fighting former plant stems, grass, whatever. which would just ball up underneath the harrogator, which most of our fields were working with a lot of organic matter on top, but since my uncle had been working this field, I guess we'll say consistently all spring, it's kept too many weeds from growing, and he's thoroughly buried the trash in the soil. I don't know how long this machine is. It's long. It's probably every bit of 20 feet. It feels like it takes a country mile to get it turned at the headlands. And depending upon how deep you set, it can pull hard. I have it set fairly shallow. We're just trying to kind of break the crust and level it out. So mostly what I'm using it for is to level this field out running at an angle. I've had it buried before, and it pulls really hard when you bury it deeper, obviously. But usually you don't have to run it too deep. I ran it right after chisel plowing. That's when it pulls really hard, because there's still a lot of big chunks to run through. And this doesn't do much for breaking up the soil at all. It's mostly for leveling it out. I've gone through after chisel plowing, and yeah, I had level, large clods. It was level, nothing was broken up. And our soil does not fall apart. It holds together extremely well, thanks to all the clay. That small particle size. The ratio of particle size to, say, face of each particle or surface area is very, I guess we'll call it large, such that there's a lot of surface area and they all stick together well. That's why we have such a high cation exchange capacity, which is great for holding fertilizer, but that's the problem of holding versus having it available for the plants. Well, finally we're getting a full view of the whole machine from the back of the tractor. The only way we could have gotten a better view of all the insides is if we had ran through it ourselves, and that would be painful. So we're coming to the end here. We're going to wrap up this fun farming adventure. And if you watch this long, keep in mind we are about, at this juncture, 10 days plus behind on videos compared to real life. So have fun with our little bit of dust we're making. We didn't make this much dust most of the rest of planting. It's not been that dry. It's been lightly wet, not a total washout. We did start out over a week ahead of last year, but as of right now, we're not ahead of last year anymore because we've just had a week of rain. So, now this is the end. We'll catch you guys later with more fun farming action.